Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. The season is upon us. It's first game of the season, if you want to call it that. Was yesterday Community Shield, and obviously we didn't come away with the plate. Um, so really, it's not the start of the season. It's only really the first game of the season if you win it. But it's you know what, it's not that big of a deal. No one really is interested in the Community Shield, as Bob Paisley once said. I'm not that bothered about the result in the Community Shield. I just want to be in it next year. Um, and that's my sentiments towards it. But yeah, we'll go over it. I mean, the game itself was very much the old cliche of a game of two halves. I thought first half we were fantastic. Some of the football we were playing was magnificent. Very much sort of like what the football we were told to expect from second season Arne Slot. Just absolutely everywhere. I think the four new signings all looked very, very good in their own way. Ekitike, the way he took his goal was just, we haven't been used to that, having Darwin Nunes at the club. It's, I think Nunes in that position, he's not sort of having a shot that way. He's going to try and top in it, and he's either going to hit the corner flag or he's going to pull it off. But the finish, it was just lovely. It was nice and controlled, low. Keeper had no chance. It was great, and then Frimpong. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he meant today. But yeah, just as I say, all four of them thought Kerkez looked lively, thought he'd done well. Vert was running the show the first half. I think everything went through him. The commentator on the game said if it feels like he's had the most touches in the game up to a certain point, and he'd only had the fourth most touches. But I think that just shows how everything did sort of feel like he was the epicenter of the team. It felt like. It was just, yeah, I'd say all four of them I thought played really well. It was some of the stalwarts who've let us down in the end, really.
It was just a game of two halves, lads. I think the first half, like as expected, we went right at them, one touch footy, passing around them, looked exciting, looked fast, looked free flowing footy, and then we're on the concourse at half time, like going, wow, we are the bollocks. We're gonna fucking win everything. Should have scored fucking 5 or something. And then the second half started, and we're a completely different team. They're a different team. They set up a little bit different. They controlled the midfield the second half. Bully does a little bit. I think the referee helped them a little bit in some of the naughtier tackles that they put in. Fucking hardly any free kicks given our way. It was a bit of a joke, but yeah, I think overall Palace have deserved to win the game. They've battered us the second half. I feel like we took our foot off the gas when we were one goal ahead, and I always think that's wrong. I think you need to be 2 goals ahead, so you've got room for improvement if you do concede one. But yeah, it was a bit of a mad second half. I think taking Ekitike off was bizarre. We had no game plan. As soon as he went off, we had nothing. We were sort of, I think at one point, Vert went as like number 9, and then Szoboszlai looked like he was the number 9. I just didn't know he was playing where when he went off. It just looked a bit strange. Like we were playing with 5 like midfielders and no striker.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit strange. But yeah, credit to Palace. Better team on the day. Won the Shield. I think I read somewhere that the team who wins the Charity Shield has only won the league once in like 15 years or something. So I'm glad we didn't win it, because we've got a league title to go and win, and we want to go and retain it because it's ours.
Yeah. Before sort of diving into the actual footy itself, I wanted to, obviously, because you were there, the minute silence for Jota. Obviously, national anthem gets played. Everybody knows what's going to happen when the national anthem gets played, and one of the 2 clubs from the city in attendance, it's getting booed. But then obviously the antics with the Jota minute silence, like for you, where you were, could you hear like it was being disrupted?
Yeah, it was loud. It was only a few, so maybe fucking 10 dickheads. But they were, I don't know whether it's, I can't put my finger on it. It weren't booing as such. It was just shouting.
Just noise.
I don't know whether someone shouted something, and then one of their fans might have told them to shush, and all of a sudden you've got 5 people shouting shush at each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have been that, but there was 100% disrespect there. Don't know why you would do it. say everyone knows why we boo the national anthem. It's not the soldiers, it's not nothing like that. It's the monarchy and the governments, and it's as simple as that. People know exactly why we do it. And it baffles me that people can't understand why we do it after what the city went through.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fucking cover-ups and all that. So, yeah, it's each to their own. We choose to boo the national anthem. If you choose to sing the national anthem, we're not going to fucking have a go at you for singing it, but we're going to boo it. It doesn't mean you need to be like, fucking, we need to do that now because something we believe in. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a massively different cause, different situation, and hopefully that cunt got filled in, and if whoever was shouting, some of their fans filled them in at the end, ideally, and they get a fucking good slap because they deserve it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think with what people can't grasp with us booing the national anthem, and apologies for my voice, by the way, I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, so my voice sounds a bit fucked at the minute, but I think what people don't grasp with us booing the national anthem is it's not like it's not us against them kind of deal. It's against other fans and nothing like that, or like you say, if fans want to sing the national anthem from other teams, like we're not gonna have a go at them for doing it. Everyone's right, but it's like we've obviously got our own reasons for doing it. Like it's a storied past as to why we're doing it. It's not like it's a new thing that we booed the national anthem either. Like you've got footage coming up from the 80s and the 70s of the national anthem getting booed, so it's not like it's a new thing. It's just, I don't know. Social media blows it out of proportion, makes it seem like a bigger issue than it actually needs to be. And I think the media these days don't help either because they just fan the flames. I think there was one who was like tried to paint it in the same light. Oh, Liverpool fans booed the national anthem, so the Jota minute silence got disrespected. It's like you can't correlate the two. It makes no sense.
No, I agree. That's what I mean. It was like a battle of between the two of us. We weren't booing Palace. They had no reason to boo Jota. It was just a baffling thing. And say the media know it's going to happen, and they probably look forward to it and lick their lips that they can put something in the paper or online.
Yeah.
But you know we do it. Get over it. It happens. The more attention you give it, the more it gets seen anyway. So our message gets heard more because we boo it.
Yeah.
And the reason why we boo it because they're all cunts basically in a nutshell, without going into too much. And that's it. We want people to know we're booing it. So if you want to put on social media, thanks.
Yeah, pretty much. So I say don't want to sort of touch too much on that, but I know the only reason I asked is because I know from certain parts of the ground you're not always going to hear it, especially when it is only a minority. So
that was loud. Yeah. It was loud enough. Again, I've been at Anfield before when there's been minute silences and you've got fucking like drunk fans coming in a little bit late and like singing on the way in from the concourse. Not really aware of what's going on, and that can be home and away. Do you know what I mean? I've heard it loads of times before. Or fucking people, like you can hear people from in the concourse who are like shouting the mates and that sometimes, and it just echoes throughout the stadium. So when it does fall silent, the slightest bit of noise like bounces around the whole stadium. But that was purposely someone shouting something out, and then I do think it was followed by people telling them to fuck off, basically.
Yeah. Do you think it like minute silences as a concept now, like a thing of the past? Do you think it should be more minutes applause rather, or do you think it depends on the situation?
I think it depends on the situation. Jota's an hard one because it's respectful, isn't it, to do the minute silence? It's to not make it about you for a minute and stop and reflect. But I prefer the applause because I'd love his family to see a standing ovation right around the stadium at least from our fans. And our staff all stood there clapping for him, and then you can go into the songs then, and you can make it about him for the minute. And I think that's the best way to do it. I also think, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but people who are trying to start songs and they can't get one going, they are now falling onto the Jota song to try and get the atmosphere going, and I think it's wrong. I think we should respect them in the 20th minute of every game for everyone, And then, you know, if we're winning and you want to sing the song again, by all means, but we can't be using them as like a little bait to fucking.
It can't be the catalyst all the time, like kind of thing. It's the wrong. It's sort of exploiting it in a way.
Like, yeah, you've got like just yesterday there was like a dad and his lad, and he tried to get like 4 songs going, and his little lad's looking at him, and then he starts the Jota one, and it took off a bit, and then he's looking at his lad dead proud, like, oh, look what your dad's done, getting the atmosphere going. I'm thinking, don't get me wrong, it's nice to hear his name ringing round, but if everyone starts doing that, it's going to be just the Jota song for every game, non-stop. And as much as we love him, and as much as like it's fucking heartbreaking that he's not here, we've got to move on as a football club and support the players that are there, and, you know, give him his moments on the 20th minute every single week, every single game, by all means, and sing this a few times throughout the game. But we can't be using it as a catalyst to get going. It's the wrong thing to do for me. You know, when it falls,
I know what you mean.
Sing the Liverpool songs, sing Field of Anfield Road, sing O Campione, try and get something going to fuel the players, energise them, get them going, and then later on in the game, you know, get the Jota song going again. That's fine, but I think about 10 times people tried to start it yesterday, and it was just to be aired, basically.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know where you're coming from. It's difficult, but I suppose in a way you don't want it to become like sort of not like you don't want it to be over sung, because then it kind of, I think if it gets over sung, it loses its meaning and its impact of doing it on the 20th minute every game. I think that makes it poignant, that makes it significant. Whereas if you're just doing it multiple times throughout the game just to get the atmosphere going, as I say, it kind of just loses its whole meaning in a sense. So I do understand what you're saying.
Look at that yesterday. You couldn't write that 20th minute, 20 seconds goal.
It's crazy, wasn't it?
Bizarre. And that's the thing, as you say there. If we keep singing on the 20th minute, we probably find that happens quite a bit. That there's a goal goes in the 20th minute. But yeah, I think that's the best thing to do for everyone. And I think, you know, the respect for Jota is make it about him for the 1 minute, give him his own little minute throughout the game, just for him, and then let's support the team.
Yeah, 100%. Talk about I suppose there's a few negatives in the end from it yesterday when it didn't look like there was going to be, but I think the two for me were obviously Van Dijk was just poor, basically. Like he just couldn't do anything right, it seemed. Our fault for both goals, along with Gakpo for the second one, giving it away. But I think he's too naive diving in for the pen on the first one. And then
I think he just thinks he's faster than he is, and he's
maybe.
And I've seen his Instagram post saying like he's being sick and he's struggling with fitness, and I find it a bit hard. Like, we were talking in the bus on the way home, and the lad was saying, "Oh, we look leggy," and I'm like, "You fucking haven't kicked the ball yet. The season hasn't started. We can't be looking leggy. We should be fucking fresh as fuck." But they did look a bit groggy and a bit leggy, and you know, it's a bit. That's the only concern for me, really, is that they did look dead tired.
The energy levels did seem to sort of drop
completely
very quickly.
Dropped, they had a 20-minute spell where they just bombarded us, and we were sort of hanging on, and we just didn't look good we didn't look good at the back at all. No. I think going forward, the new fullbacks look sound. I think even defensively, I think on one-on-one defending and like position wise, I thought he was sound, but when the ball's floating into our box, I don't trust any of us to win it. I really don't. I don't know. Sorry, Frimpong won a few headers. He even headed the ball when it didn't need heading. He was just heading everything, and I thought that was like. Turns around to one of the lads and said, like, I don't think I can remember Trent ever heading the ball or going up for a duel. So I was really impressed with Frimpong. I thought he was just dead keen to do whatever he had to do to defend. But when that ball gets dinked into to our box, I didn't trust any of them. I just felt like they were going to score every time. At one point in the second half, it's gone over everyone to the back post, and somehow they've missed like a clear-cut chance. It's gone just past the post. They're like, fucking, we need to wake up here. But we just knocked a million miles off at the second half.
Yeah, definitely. like Van Dijk as well, stepping out for that second goal. Is that on him, or is that on the rest of the defence and not stepping up with him, or is it a mixture?
If he stepped out, then you're meant to follow him, aren't you? As the leader, but you've got to be vocal with it as well. You've got to tell them to step out. It did look offside to me from where it was. I was sort of online with it. It looked a bit offside, but obviously it went to VAR and it weren't. I just think you've got two new fullbacks who aren't used to how we playing. That's where the leadership's got to come in. You've got to like drum it into them that you just fucking follow me. If I step out, you step out. Who kept them on side?
I think it was Kerkers.
Was it? So that's it. That's got to be something that's watched and learned, and that's it now. Wherever Virgil's, be online with them.
And you talk about it being vocal. I think that was something we touched on when he first got the captaincy, is that before he got the captaincy, he'd never really come across as a vocal player on the pitch. And maybe that's just, maybe it's a sort of comfort thing, like he was comfortable with having Trent and Robbo there all the time, so it was easy for them to tell them to step up when he needs to. But obviously having the two new ones there now, obviously, I mean, he's played with Frimpong for the national team, so there shouldn't be an issue there. But it's going to take time to get, if that's going to be our new back four, what lined up on yesterday, then it's going to take a little bit of time for them all to get into full cohesion with each other. But yeah, it was just disappointing. I think McAllister coming on as well, I think that was one of, if not the worst cameo of a footballer I've ever seen in my life. That was honestly one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Just everything, and it's not even, I don't even think it's necessarily that he done stuff necessarily bad. It's just everything just seemed to not work out for him. Everything that could have went wrong just seemed to go wrong, even if it was just a little thing. I think he got away with the handball massively. I don't understand how they haven't give that. I really don't. And if that was the other end, we'd be fucking screaming until we were dead raw in the face. I can't understand how they haven't give it. And I'd say I'm happy in the end, but then I honestly wasn't that confident going into the pens, to be honest. But yeah, and then I think, it's just one of them. I think some of them haven't really played that often in pre-season as well, like Alisson. Although we thought Alisson played very well, he hasn't been there in pre-season all the time. I think Van Dijk hasn't played as often in pre-season. McAllister's been sort of dotting in and out. They said that we're managing his minutes, so there's obviously still some like fitness issues, a bit of fatigue in the squad still. So it's obviously something we've got to work through, but I think there's still some positives you can take from it. As I said, that the new lads all look great. I think Curtis Jones was quietly impressive. Just he's one of them players, Curtis Jones. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves, because I think he's a 7 out of 10 every game. He doesn't really let you down. He's always just there. He's in the right place all the time. He plays he plays the easy passes when you need to be played, but he can play that killer ball through if he needs to as well. I think he's just one of them really solid players every single week. And I just don't think he gets the praise he deserves. But I think Harvey Elliott as well, when he come on, I think, as he did a lot in Klopp's last season, he was the spark for everything when he come on. He was the difference maker. He wasn't obviously the difference maker, but he felt like if there was anyone going to be the difference maker, it was going to be him. Every time the ball got him, you thought he was going to make something happen. And I don't know. It's a strange one, because I think everybody expects him to leave, and then he puts in a little cameo like that, and you're thinking to yourself, why are we considering letting this go?
Yeah, that it's a baffling one for me with Elliott, because we know where the ceiling is. We know how good he's gonna be, and if he's playing every week, he's only going to get better. So I understand from his point of view that he wants to play more games. But like just Salah yesterday, Salah was probably only the only player in both halves who didn't really do anything. He didn't really get involved in the first half. It was all the other side.
Yeah.
So he wants to start believing in himself and pushing for that position, knowing Salah's got a fucking 2 years left at Liverpool. He's 22 years old. keep pushing. You're at your dream club. Keep pushing. Unless Arne Slot's told him point blank, you're not going to play any football, which I don't understand because I don't think he's in the squad at all. If he's definitely,
he doesn't come on yesterday. I think if that conversation's been had,
I think he needs that. I just think he needs to bounce into the office and say, "Where do you see me? What's the plan? Because I want to fucking be here. This is my club, and I think I deserve to be here, and I think he does." You know, he's in the same bracket as Jones, where like whenever he comes on, he's a solid like 7 out of 10 at least. He never comes on and be invisible. He comes on and does something. He tries to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he tries to get us over the line, one way or another. He comes on and he breaks that low block as well. He's probably one of the only players who does. He gets in and he finds a way through. But yeah. The penalty was shit though.
Yeah, that was only fucking negative. But I mean, depends as a whole from both teams were shit. It's just that theirs were a little bit better than ours in the end. But Salah's, and I knew for a fact Salah was missing when he was running up after his pen against Bilbao. I knew it was the exact same thing was going to happen, and it did. And then obviously Elliott's penalty just was too central. And I can't even remember who missed the other one for us, but that was shit as well. Oh no, McAllister. McAllister actually was a decent pen. It was just a good save by the keeper, that one, to be fair.
A full stretch, really.
Yeah. But I don't know, we had a great record of pen shootouts with Klopp, and then the two we've had under Slot, we've just looked like we didn't know how to take a penalty ever. It's just, I don't know. It mustn't be something we're working on as often anymore. Which
I don't think you need. I don't think it's something you work on though. I think, the goalies are told which way the players should be going. It's on the water bottles and all that shit. And analysis of that, but it's a load of. I think it's just a load of bollocks. Penalty shootouts. I could take a penalty shootout in a professional game and have a chance of scoring.
Yeah.
It's just that you're from 12 yards, lad. If you hit it hard enough and low enough, you've scored. If you try and be mad and try and think it, you put it in about fucking 22, like fucking solid. I think the question needs to be asked now because he has missed quite a few in his time. Do we take him off him? And I think we should. I think Bosley Gakpo would be ideal, and that's it. If out of 5 penalties you miss 2, you're off them. So don't.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that myself, and then like I nearly put it on Twitter, and then I could see the reactions to it already before I'd even put it up, so I didn't bother putting it up. But then, as somebody else said it on Twitter as well, and then somebody commented like he scored 11 out of 12 last season, which you're not with a record like that, you're not taking him off it. But I think there does need to be a sort of conversation with him and be like, look, just make sure you're on form with them, because if you have 5 pens in the first 15 games and you miss 3 of them, then we're going to be giving it to somebody else. I think he's still got to be given that confidence and that reassurance that he's our pen taker moving forward. But it's got to be with an ultimatum as well, if you like, and just make sure, keep him on his toes, basically, because the amount of technique and ability we've got in the squad now, you've got Szoboszlai, as you say. I think Gakpo would be a good one. Florian Wirtz would probably be fucking a fantastic penalty taker. I think McAllister, other than, again, it wasn't a bad pen. Any other most keepers, he scores that. He's a good penalty taker. We've got the ability there, so it's not like it's not like back in the day when you had Steven Gerrard as your only real recognised decent pen taker. We've got a squad full of them now, and yeah, it's certainly a conversation that should be had. That it's he's not guaranteed if he keeps hitting pens like that, because I mean, like, get it on target at least, make the keeper make a save at the very least. You know what I mean? It was just to sky it like that for how good Mo Salah is pathetic.
I just don't like that he's done what he done last week and he's tried to do
exactly the same thing. Yeah,
fucking stupid. Like, he's changed his run up. He's doing things different. Don't get me wrong. I didn't know he scored 11 out of 12. I thought he missed quite a few last season. So I don't know whether is that 11 out of 12 in the league.
I don't know. I'm not sure. That's just what somebody commented. But I think it was the season before. He missed like 3 in a row the season before.
Yeah, that's what I must be thinking then, because I remember him missing a few. Yeah, it's obviously Mo Salah, and he wants to take the pens to put on his tally so he can get the golden boot and all that. But I know I miss the days of fucking when you've got players like Gary McAllister and Lippmann and taking them because they're just the best at them. So I think that's what we need to be doing, is put your best penalty taker on your penalties. And again, if fucking Salah has scored 11 out of 12, then there's no reason why he isn't our best penalty taker. But on the last two, he doesn't look confident running up. As soon as he stepped forward, I was like, he's missed.
Yeah.
Didn't think he'd miss like that, but he missed. And
I didn't think he was going to score.
It's almost competitive hard as well.
It was just I say bad penalty shootout. I think for me it felt like Salah was almost like making a point, like, right, I missed the penalty doing this against on Monday, so I'm going to do it today and I'm going to score, and then he's missed. And just don't fucking broke. Don't try and fix what isn't broke, like, you know what I mean. But I say, look, it's a Community Shield. It's one of them. It's if you win, it's a big trophy. If you lose, it's a friendly. So it's just
even on we were like debating, because we had a bit of a bastard of a time. We had to get a bus to a car park, and then a tube, fucking walk half an hour, get a tube to Wembley, and then you come out and there's fucking traffic light systems to get on the trains and that. So we said, like, if we win it, we'll be just going. So you just get off, and you're asked about seeing us lifted. It's a charity shield, you know what I mean? It was about being at work. For us, it was about the trip to Wembley, and the footy got in the way of us having a boss time.
Yeah.
The best part of the day was walking in the ground, like getting there on the bus, 4 hours, having a drink, having a laugh, doing nothing but laugh. Fucking getting into Wembley all together, all on different blocks but on the same level, so we all managed to meet up, having a few pints, and then we couldn't wait for half time so we could go and meet up and have a pint, and then full time we couldn't wait to get back in the bus so we could have a few drinks and have a laugh. So I think if you're getting anything from this, is that we're a gang of pissheads.
Pretty much, yeah.
But that's what it was about. We had an absolute scream, and the result, it would have been nice to win it. But when you have people getting off before the penalties and stuff like that, I don't think anyone was really confident or interested in the footy. I think the first half showed us how good we can be, and the second half showed us how vulnerable we can be as well. So, again, this happened last season where we looked a little bit shaky early on, and then Arnie Slot got a cob on, and we didn't lose again. So, you better get in these games out the way early. I think we went in there dead arrogant and dead cocky. We've looked at our signings, and we've added some real quality, some top players. I think, like, how much I fucking hate that rat from West Derby. Can't bear him. But I look at Frimpong and I'm like, that's my right back. That's what I want to see. A lad busting a gut to get back. There's Kirkhouse doing the same Robbo would do. He's killing himself to get up and get back. Centre halves look vulnerable, but we know how good they can be. And I think we just looked at that team and went, we're going to swat these here. And we're going to swat everyone, every game, until the league's ours again. And it was a little bit of an eye-opener. Like, tone down, shut up, get behind the lads. Because that's another thing, the atmosphere was dog shit. It was full of people expecting just to win the game dead easy. When we needed, to dig in and have a bit of a battle, there was nothing from us. No sound at all. Palace embarrassed us in terms of the support. But again,
bit like the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, but again, it's hard to. We expect to win them games when we go in with an arrogance that we're only playing Newcastle or we're only playing Palace. But if you watch footy, you know that Newcastle and Palace aren't an easy game. Don't playing them home or away. They're always difficult. So yeah, I think we all made the mistake of going in, seeing our team looking being a bit cocky, and we need to fucking pipe that down now. We need to go and get behind our team, and hopefully the results come.
Yeah. First official outing for one of the new kits as well, which look phenomenal in person, I must say. Like, I know you've bit the bullet for the first time in about 20 years and bought a couple, and I'm thinking of doing the same myself, lad. They're just fucking unbelievable.
I said that obviously I've got a fucking t-shirt business, and I get a load of sales when the kit comes out because people like boycott it because of the price and stuff. And I'd encourage people to do that. If you don't want to pay, go to a small business. But when it's something like that, it was like, I think I put on Twitter, it's like the nostalgia around Oasis being back together, the club being linked with Adidas again. Was just like, you could just see flashes of Gerrard and Torres and everything they were doing. And Seen that
Just feels right, doesn't it?
I nearly went and bought a blonde wig and a headband, lad. Fucking boss.
You've definitely got them already, lad. You don't need to buy them.
No, so yeah, I seen it and I thought, this fucking social media thing, if you wear a kit, you're a knobhead and all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be fucking bouncing out the house in it or fucking going to the pub in it or anything. But I'm not going to dig at anyone who is, because it's a fucking nice top. I'll wear mine for footy and I'll play footy in it or go to the gym in it or train in it or whatever. But I'll be fucking wearing it and I won't be scared of being seen in it because I'm fucking 34. I'm not getting the full kit, you know what I mean? I never got the socks. So yeah, it's a fucking lovely kit, lad. The pair of them, and if that green one that they're saying is real, if that comes out, I'll be buying that as well because it's fucking unbelievable. And yeah, I think this whole thing of if you wear a fucking top, you're a big wool. I think that I was smiling at people in the shop, like grown men who took the kids, and they're like licking their lips. And I said to one fella, "You're breaking here, aren't you?" And he was like, "I'm gonna have to get it, lad. I'm gonna have to. It's fucking boss." I was like, "Do you know what?" I said, "I'm not asked anymore. I'm getting it. I'm here for me." And I had all of the kids one looking at it. Like I was giving it to someone little. I was like, "No, fucking put that back. Get me extra large."
No, they are properly nice kits, and it just feels right being back with Adidas. Like I think Nike as a whole didn't really. I don't think they really let us down with any of the kits, but they didn't like make anything that was like fucking hell. This is unbelievable. Not until you're gonna look back at in 20 years or 25 years and go, that kit was fucking lovely. The only memory you're gonna have of any Nike kit is last season one because we won the league with it. So yeah, just being back with Adidas just feels right. I just hope they don't give us anything like they done with the last kit they made for us. That fucking weird one that just reminds me of Charlie Adam. Just stay away from anything like that. I'm flying. But yeah, let's fucking talk about
that Warrior.
Now we had one Adidas one with Standard Chartered, yeah. And it was like a proper rounded collar. And it was just weird looking, and I'd say it just reminds me of Charlie Adam and fucking like Stuart Downing and all these other crabs that we had at Aquilani. No, it wouldn't have been Aquilani then, but it would have been who I don't even know. But just bunch of Paul Konchesky kit, and it looked like it looked like a turtleneck. Like is just how I remembered it in my head. It probably didn't, but that's just how I envision it. So yeah, no, it does just feel right being back where it is. But let's move on to some other things that have happened because obviously still got about 3 or so weeks left of the transfer window. Obviously the big one this week, Darwin Núñez is gone, and it's one of them, and it's sad because I don't think there's been many players in recent years who the fans have wanted to succeed as much as him, and loved him no matter what. To the point where, and we've spoke about it a number of times, like to the point where it's a bit annoying when he's getting his name chanted for taking a shot at it, fucking going for a fucking corner to do somehow. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wanted them to succeed. It didn't happen, but he's got himself a good financial move. He's going to be getting fucking God knows how much a week at Al Hilal.
400 grand reported.
Yeah, that's the low side for over there as well. Fucking hell. And yeah, you know what? He'll probably go there and he'll score a fucking ridiculous amount of goals, most likely, and then he'll come back to Europe and he's people are saying he's got no ambition, or he's washed already, but he's still only 24. Like he could spend 2-3 years there, bag a load of goals, earn a shit ton of money, and then come back to Europe and still have sort of 7, 8, 9 years in Europe. Like
I think he's 26.
Is he as old as that?
Yeah, still the same thing. I agree with you. I think he's gone there for a payday, and he'll be able to show how good he is. He'll stand out a mile in that league, 1,000,000%. There've been players who've gone over there and you don't hear them doing anything. He will. I think he plays footy for the love of the game as well. I think he plays he reminds me of a Suarez in that sense, where he just loves the game, and I think he'd play for anyone. as long as he was fucking playing footy. So,
yeah,
do you know what? I'm a bit gutted over it because it's been like the common thing with him, hasn't it? Should we give him one more year? Should we give him one more year? And I've said all along, if we paid 40 mil for him, he's been here 3-4 years. I think we've had our 40 mil worth out of him. Some of the big goals he scored, some of the moments we've had with him, some of the madness that's made you just laugh your head off because he's nuts. I think 40 mil, you're going, do you know what, lad? You've done all right. And if you're happy to fucking come on for 20 minutes every couple of weeks and to cause your chaos, we're happy for you to be here. I think because of the fucking price tag, we need to recoup some money. It's a shame because I can't think of a player in world football who you could bring onto a football match and cause as much carnage as him. So even yesterday, you think we missed him. I think if he comes on, that game changes 1,000,000%, and we start attacking again and we looking dangerous again. And I think we did miss him, but I don't think this manager wants chaos. I think he wants complete control and wants to be in charge of every situation we're in and play free-flowing footy where there is no chaos. So, unfortunately, we can't build a team around a player like him because he is unpredictable. And I think we'll miss that. I do. I think we'll miss it as fans. But watching that compilation of him, the goals he's scored and the mad things he's done, I think he'll be sort of like remembered as he wasn't respected enough because some of the goals he scored were unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. To be honest, he's had some great moments for us. He's obviously, the Newcastle game stands out, the Brentford game stands out. Scored some absolute wellies when he had no right to. Missed some absolute sitters when he had no right to. I think the one that stands out to me is when I think it was against Toulouse, and like he's took on a defender, he's like megged the defender, rounded the keeper, and then hit the post. And then it's felt like Gravenberch and he's put it in. It's like it was just the most quintessential Darwin Núñez thing ever. But no, I think you're right. I think, like you say, the club were in a position where we needed to recoup as much as we could for him, and I think we've managed to get, probably close to about 50 mil for him, which is a good deal. We desperately we can't be done in the transfer window now. I think that everyone can see that we still need a centre back. We still need another, at least one attacker, whether it's on the left, right, or up front. We certainly need at least one more, especially if the talks at Chiesa are going. If that actually happens, we're even more short than we already are. So certainly another one. Whether that's going to be Isak or not, I don't know. I don't know where we stand with that at the minute. It does seem it's pretty much a case of Newcastle going, this is how much we want, pay that or fuck off. And we're not willing to pay what they're asking for at the minute. So if that is the case, and that is just fucking the end of the deal, then we've got to move on to someone else, and we've got to try and see what else we can do, because we can't put all our efforts into this deal if we're not willing to. If there's absolutely no compromise to be had there, it's pointless wasting our time. Either go in and pay the money or fuck off, basically.
Yeah. I don't think there's a world where we sell Núñez and we haven't got someone lined up already. I think this is a big, like, fucking charade, basically. I think we know we're getting Isaac. I think they know we're getting Isaac. I think there's been discussions, and I think we are playing the long game where, if we show we're desperate to get him, they can charge us what they want. If we show we're not really that hard and we entertain someone else, they might start flapping because they're stuck with a player who doesn't want to be there. Said point blank, he doesn't want to be there. I've read today that Newcastle actually contacted Liverpool to put a bid in, and that's where our first bid come from. So they have been in talks, and Newcastle invited Liverpool to put a bid in. We just didn't bid what they wanted. And I've read today that Isak's basically spoke to his agents and asked for Liverpool to show their hand. Do they actually really want him? And if they do, he'll force his way out. And if not, he'll fucking basically calm down. Because he can't be putting all his eggs in the basket of coming to Liverpool if we're not going to bid the money. So he's got to have he's got to agree with us that we're going to go full throttle for it before he starts kicking up a big fuss. Even more.
Yeah, of course.
But I agree, yeah, if it's not going to be him, and I can't see it being him myself, I just don't see where we go and spend 150 mil. I think it's tagging out. But from what I'm reading today, I think it sounds all done, basically. It sounds like it's all done, and we're sort of not bidding, so clubs don't know they've got money, so they can get his replacements for cheaper. But the top and bottom of it is, if we get Isak, they've got loads of dough to spend, so clubs mightn't sell to them until they sell. You know what I mean? Game of cat and mouse. But yeah, we need to move on. We've lost 3 strikers so far, 3 attackers. Obviously, 3 of them played every week. 2 we've sold, 1 we've fucking obviously lost Jota. So yeah, it's a fucking horrible situation when you're talking about replacing players that have fucking passed away. But in terms of a football game, we've got to go and get a person in who can play there. So we need, I think, at least 2 attackers. And if you do lose Chiesa and Harvey Elliott, I think you've got to replace them as well. Because these
100%.
Harvey Elliott's a player that has been influential off the bench last season and the season before. So you can't just fucking pretend he didn't exist. He's a body that we need replacing. And Chiesa, as much as he hasn't been in the squad and that, he's a player we really like as fans. I think he's a player who could do really well if he got minutes. I don't get what's going on there. I don't know whether it is just fitness. I don't know whether he might be like a bit of a Daniel Sturridge where before every game he feels like he's got a knock or something. He's just never involved. So it does make more sense to get rid of him. But again, you'd have to replace him. And I don't know whether with Diaz, I don't know whether they're going to use Rio as his replacement. And if he's going to play him and he's not scared to risk him, then that's fine by me because I think he's got the talent. But it's got to be in a sense that we're not relying on him. We can't be relying on no kid like fucking Barcelona have been. We've got to fucking bring him on when we're like 2 or 3 up and there's no pressure on him. If you start putting him in games where you need to win, don't get me wrong, he could fucking thrive with it, but 9 times out of 10 that goes the other way and the pressure's too much and we fucking crumble. So we need to integrate him into the team with fucking being smart. The same with Ben Doak. I can't see a world where he's here, but for a player who could come on for 20 minutes, and even if it is only just his pace, because he has got to finish, he's got to be better with his finishing and better with his final ball. But just the sheer pace of the lad and the low sense of gravity in the way he can dribble, I just think he'd be worth keeping. If we were only going to get like 15-20 mil for him, I just think leave him there and tell him when we need him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's someone everyone's wanted to see something of in the first team. He looks great in pre-season all the time, and then he gets like, if he doesn't go out on loan straight away, he might get a League Cup game and that. But it's like he does deserve more, and I think there is going to be a bit of a onus on incorporating some of the younger lads a bit more this season. Obviously, I think you've just got to go off the squad numbers. Obviously, Traynor only getting a new number. He's going to be part of the squad. I think he's basically a fully fledged first team player now. Like that's in the hierarchy, he is classed as first team player. He's not part of the under 21s or nothing anymore. I think I read. So he's there now. So the pathway's there, and this is someone who's only played 2 or 3 professional games for us. So like it's not like we're going right. You need to be playing a bit here and there every season, getting 5 or 10 games under your belt for a few seasons, and then we'll bring you into the squad. It's like, no, Trainee only been here 2 years, and it's like, now, all right, yeah, trying you already. And it'd be the same for Engamoa. Like the lads have got a ridiculous amount of talent, and I was saying it the other day. You look at the way Arsenal have sort of done it with Lewis Skelly, and to a slightly lesser extent, Waneri. If you're good enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough, is the old saying. And Arsenal proved it with them too, and I think now we've finally got our own who we can do the same with. He's got Raheem Sterling vibes about him, as much as obviously we don't like him anymore. But I mean, when he burst onto the scene for us, he burst through as a 17-year-old and became a first team regular pretty much immediately, and there's no reason that Engamoa can't do the same. But at the same time, we're fortunate to be in a position where that doesn't necessarily need to be the case. I think we're very settled with Gakpo on the left, I think, at the minute. He's someone who's always available. He's dangerous. He can cut in. He can score. I think he got about 18 goals last season in the end, didn't he? So Gakpo is settled there, but like Ekitike can go out there as well. Vert can probably go there if we need them to. We've still got a very interchangeable forward line, but we do need extra bodies in there, whoever it's going to be. We just need to make sure that we get players in, because like you say, if Chiesa goes, that's then 4 attackers that we ended last season with that we won't have going into the new season, which is just, you can't replace that. Because I seen somebody put about like Ekitike and Isak, and saying Ekitike is an idiot. He's going to a team and they're looking to replace him already. And it's like, well, that's not what's happening. It's like I've just said, we've lost 4 attackers. Let's say by the end of the transfer window, we'll be 4 attackers less. So we're not just going to go into a season with fucking 3 attackers, are we? You know what I mean? It's we've got to make sure we've got the bodies there so we can put a proper attack out for all competitions, because I think we will look at the way we performed in the other competitions last season and be very disappointed. I think going out in the Champions League when we did, albeit to the winners, kind of softens the blow a little bit at the end of the season. But going out in the manner that we did would have hurt. I think going out the way we did against Plymouth would have hurt. And then obviously losing the Carabao Cup final, in the manner that we did again would have hurt. So there's sort of wrongs to be righted this season in all 3 of them competitions. So we want to make sure that we've got everything everything we need to make sure that we can do that this season.
Yeah, like as I say, before we sold anyone, you look at our depth and you go, fucking hell, like, wow, that's unbelievable. But then you lose the likes of Diaz and Nunes, and then your depth's gone a little bit. The left side, we're absolutely fine, as you say, and then you can add Rio to that list you just said, and he could come on. Like, I just think, imagine having Kerkez, Frimpong, fucking Rio, and Doak coming up the flanks at you for the last 20 minutes of a game. Your fucking head's gone. Your head's gone. There's just too much pace, too much power. It's fucking brilliant. But realistically, yeah, if Gakpo gets injured, you might have to put Ekitike on the left or Vert, which is not ideal because they don't play there, but they can. So it's only really Rio who's natural that side. The same, if Salah gets injured, you've only got Benzo on the right who can come in if you sell Chiesa. So you're relying on kids then if anything does happen. You need to have a starting player, someone who can come in as a substitute or a replacement if they're injured or they go to fucking AFCON, and then a kid who can get an opportunity at times when you're taking the piss out of a team and he can come on at 2 or 3-0 and get a few minutes.
Yeah.
At the minute, the way our depth is, we will be relying on kids.
Yeah.
A couple of injuries to the midfield, you're then relying on the likes of Naomi. Fucking injury to centre half, you're relying on one of the kids from the academy to come up and have a go. Left back, right back was sound. Centre forward, Ekitike gets injured. You're playing Szoboszlai or Vert as a fucking false 9. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. So we need to go out and get players. We need to go and strengthen. And I don't care if we go. I think if we see Ekitike as our starting striker, brilliant. He's 22 years of age. He could be an absolute beast. He cost us 80-odd million. That's no discreet. He's coming in. He's leading the line for Liverpool Football Club. If we can't get Isak, and we have to go and get someone who is the substitute to come on for Ekitike, then I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Yeah,
as long as there's someone in there who can score. We've obviously added that kid from Salford, which we probably will never ever see again. But he looks a good kid. Looks like a bit of a Jota, like a bit of a Fowler, just a fox in the box. Good at finishing. And again, I think we forgot about Jadon Danns a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't know where he's going to be at in terms of experience. And
has he not gone out on loan again?
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't.
He come on in one of the pre-season games and don't think he took the ball.
That's what I mean. I haven't seen him since. Like you say, I think he come on once, but then I don't think I've seen any. But I'm just going to double check. Like,
That's what these are players that if you've got them there, like we know Jaden Daniels is another good striker. Are we going as Arnie slot seeing enough of them to keep them in and bring out the fold, or do we need to go back into the market? So we won't know. But if we've got our first 11 and then our depth is a load of fucking 16 and 17-year-old kids, then we're going to struggle.
Yeah, definitely. Last thing on the transfer window then is you talk about being signed at left and right back, Kostas Tsimikas. There is lots of talk of him going now. Apparently the reason he was left out yesterday was because he's on course for a move. I think I've read Forest in for him. He's another one of them, isn't he? He's a good lad to have around. He seems to get on with everybody. He seems like a bit of a sort of honorary scouser. But Greek international, I don't know if Greek have qualified for the World Cup, but if they have, World Cup coming up, he's not going to be wanting to play third choice behind Robertson and Kerkez. It makes sense for him to go and get a move, and if he can stay in the Premier League, a lot of eyes on him still. It makes sense for him.
Yeah, I think we've discussed it before. If you had to lose one of them, it was Robbo or Tsimikas, it had to be Kostas, unfortunately. Robbo's he'll just integrate himself into that Milner role, hopefully, and just be around the club and, willing to come on and take his chance when he gets an opportunity. But, he knows there's a younger, fresher player in front of him now. And that's hard to take for players like Robbo or Milner, but they're professional enough to accept it. I think Kostas is still young enough to be playing every week for a team. It's just not going to be us. And yeah, I think really like the lad. I think he's boss. I think he gives me vibes like Lucas Leiva. He just looks like he's going to be joking with all the lads. And, I don't think there's no cliques in our team. I think everyone's just together. And I think he's a focal point of that. I think you can always see him laughing and joking with everyone. But it's all about playing footy matches. And he's not going to get too many opportunities at us at the minute. So, yeah, I think for him, for his benefit, but I just think it must be dead hard leaving a group like these where you're all laughing every day and you're looking forward to going into work even though you're not playing footy. So I think I read something that he'd rather play fucking 20 games a season for Liverpool than play anywhere else. So, but whether he's been told he won't than that, then that might force his decision. So just have to see what happens with that. But again, it's not like I said to you last season, there's not really any players there. I said the same about Diaz and Nunes. There's not really any players there that I'm fucking heartbroken if we lose. Because I think every one of them can be sort of replaced by younger players. But you've got your Alisson, your Van Dijk and your Salah probably. That's it.
Yeah.
But, I think he falls into the category of, he's been a boss lad, but go and play your footy, lad. So I think Harvey Elliott had put in the category of, I think I'd be disappointed in us if he went, because I think he's got so much more to offer, and I think we're weak on that side. So I think he can come on and play right mid. Happen, but I think unless we've got someone lined up again, if we go and get an absolute whippy who's going to be marching up and down the right wing instead of Harvey Elliott and playing a style of play that Arnie Slot wants to integrate, then so be it. It is what it is. It's footy. It's fickle. We move on. But at this moment, I don't see the point in getting rid of players if no one else is coming in.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because I think we're past the stage of getting rid of sort of the dead weight now. I think we've got rid of what you would consider to be the dead weight already. So it's just a case of replacing those who've already been sold, because like I say, still need a centre back. We haven't replaced Quanta yet. We've got 3 recognised centre backs at the minute, and one of them is Joe Gomez, who we all absolutely fucking love, but again, he's just never fit, so we can't rely on him enough. Endo, obviously the greatest footballer on the planet, but again, he's not a centre back. He can do a job there, and he'd probably do a very good job there, in fairness, if we'd done it. But he just hasn't got the height and anything to be playing there regularly. So we can't be leaving ourselves in a position where we have to go into a run of games and something happens to Van Dijk and something happens to Kanate. We can't be relying on a combination of Gomez and Endo to be playing centre back, which will then turn into just Endo. And then it'll be like, Marmondashvili and Endo at centre back and Alisson in goal. So it's we definitely need to replace Quanta. We like I say, everyone we've sold, we realistically need to replace, with probably the only exception being Tyler Morton, who, by the way, very good move for him, I think. Good price for us, 15 million. But going to Leon, he obviously he believes in his own ability, he trusts himself to go. He could have very easily gone to a Middlesbrough or a Swansea or even like a Sunderland who've just come up. He could have easily just have gone to one of them if he wanted to, and it just would have been a bit boring. But he's gone to test himself. He's going to be playing in Europe for a before PSG took over. It was Lyon were the PSG in France. I think they won like 8 on the bounce, 8 league titles on the bounce. So very good move for him. Happy for him. Always liked him as a player. Always thought he should have got more of a chance when we had him, especially last season. I think I can't understand why we didn't loan him out in the end when he played like twice all season. It just didn't really make a great deal of sense. Obviously, I think to fill that Morton role, you've got James McConnell, who, if he hasn't, I've seen things that he was going to be going out on loan, but again, I don't think I've seen anything. But from what I've read, Arne Slot is a massive fan of James McConnell. So I think you've got that replacement for Tyler Morton already there. So I think that's where he doesn't quite fall into that category. But yeah, like I say, a few weeks left of the transfer window. I don't think we're done. We can't be done, surely.
We can't be done. We've lost too many players. We haven't replaced them. So
yeah,
currently we've got a starting 11 of real quality, and then we've got a bench that sort of hinders the team when it changes. So we need to go out into the market. What's going on with Bajcetic? Is he still with us?
Yeah, couldn't tell you what's going on with him now. I know.
Last time I seen him, he was on crutches again.
Yeah, I know.
He's just the same.
It's annoying with him, isn't it? Because we've seen how good he is. Excuse me. We've seen how good he is, and like I think the Salzburg loan didn't work out for him. I don't think he done well there. But then he's gone on loan to Las Palmas second half of the season. And he's done really well there. And then he comes back. He hasn't. I don't think he's played at all in pre-season. And then, as you say, he's been seen on crutches again. It's like, as good a player as he is, how long do we keep persevering with him?
I feel like he's been in the squad for about 10 years.
I know, yeah. He's just, I don't know what it is with him, lad. So maybe we see him this season. Who knows? But it is getting to a point where, as I say, it's kind of like you're going, can we keep just waiting for him now? It's like he's, I don't know. I'd like to see him back in the fold. I really would, but never know with him. Never know. So to wrap up, then, as we mentioned, Premier League is back Friday. We get to open up the league as champions at home. Bournemouth, going to be a tough game. I don't think they've done too much in the transfer window themselves, so I think that'll probably help them quite significantly.
They've lost a few players, haven't they?
They've lost two major ones, obviously Kerkez to us, and then Dean Howson, and then I suppose you can say Kepa went back on loan, his loan ended, and he's obviously now gone to Arsenal. But they brought in Petrovic from Chelsea permanently, so they've got a new keeper. I know they replaced Kerkez. I don't know if they've replaced Howson, but I think besides them three are the main ones. The rest of the team is still what it was, I think. So that'll help them. Transition-wise, I don't think it's going to be too difficult for them in that sense. I think it's going to be, going to be a tough game. Iraola is a very good manager. He sets them up really well, difficult to beat. But I think if everybody turns up for us, how they should, and how we expect them to, the new lads click again, which I hope they do. I don't see an outcome where we don't win.
It's just difficult. I think we say it quite often is what Liverpool turns up. If the first half Liverpool turns up, you probably wrap the game up in the first half. You start making changes and stuff. But if you play like the second half, I think all it takes is one little slip up at the back, and Bournemouth are telling themselves to just attack us because we're vulnerable. And I think that's our downfall at the minute, is when we are getting it, we do look like a bit panicky and a bit clueless. So we've just got to see how we go. It's going to be all eyes on us. You know, we have been mounting off that with the champions, and we are the champions, rightly so. We deserve to be the champions, but we've made a shitload of changes to a winning side, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Brought in a load of quality, but we now need them to gel. Obviously, last season we made no changes. Arnie Slot's played a bit of a boring style of footy to get us over the line and win football matches. I think he's going to be implementing his style of play this season, trying to get these to learn on the job, basically, trying to click together, trying to learn the system and how he wants them to play the one-touch footy and to getting them behind and that. And it could end up meaning we struggle, but that's what we're here for. We're here to see what happens, aren't we? And I'm confident we've got a good enough starting 11 to beat anyone. But we know how football works out, that you do need a strong bench, and I think that's where we're a bit stuck at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's just nice having the footy back. So yeah, full weekend matches to look forward to. I think there's some good ones Saturday and Sunday as well. So it's just nice. Just hopefully Liverpool win and we can fucking enjoy the rest of the footy. Yeah, exactly.
I think we will. I think maybe, I don't even think they overexert themselves. I think they just took the foot off the gas completely the second half of that. I think they used the first half to sort of like, let's see what you can do. And then the second half, I feel like the manager changed something. I think them bringing Will Hughes on as well changed our rhythm a little bit, because he just fucking wanted to get in everyone's face. We couldn't deal with him. He had a blinder. He had a great game.
Yeah, he did, to be fair.
So, yeah, I think that changed how we were playing, because he was pressing absolutely everything. So I think we had to change our style a little bit. It went a bit negative again, as we've seen before. But then it felt like go out and show what you can do, and then fucking relax and see what you can do. And I think that's what they've done. So hopefully we go out full throttle for 90 minutes at Bournemouth, and we show us what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Score prediction?
3-0. I'm going to go for 3-0. I think, we've surely got to be tighter at the back. I think we've got to, I'm saying this about Alisson as well, like, he could possibly be the best goalie ever of all time in any league, because I've never been in a situation where there's a one-on-one and I don't think the striker's going to score, unless it was Nunes.
Yeah.
I've just literally, you've got players coming one-on-one and you just expect Alisson to save it now. It's bizarre. I don't even I just go, he'll save that. And 9 times out of 10 he does. He's unbelievable. Yeah, he's fucking great. I don't know what my point was, but Alisson
if there was ever a moment that summed up this podcast, that was it,
I just blanked out and forgot what I was saying.
Ask Jay for his score prediction and turned into Alisson Becker's the best goalkeeper of all time.
That's why I've said nil. I think we'll have to be a little bit tidier at the back. But if we're not, we've got Alisson Becker there. So I think I got frustrated with myself last year, because every time I said nil, we did concede. So my only concern is if we do concede the first goal in games, it looks like our game plan could shuffle a little bit. But yeah, I just hope we start. I just hope it starts free flowing, one touch footy, and it gets the fans out the seat, because we need Anfield to be at its fucking rapturous best again, and if we can, all season. But we need to have the right people in the ground to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? I'll go 3-0 myself. I was thinking that, and just, I don't know, feels right. I normally sit on the fence and go 3-1 all the time, but now I'm gonna be brave and say 3-0 myself. I'm looking forward to it though. As I say, it'd be nice to see the new lads properly in front of Anfield in a proper game for the first time. Get soak in the proper atmosphere of Anfield under the lights. It's gonna be fun, and yeah, hopefully we get to 3 points. Going to wrap it up there. Because we've taken up enough of your time now. But thank you everyone for listening and watching once again. If you are on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. It does help us massively. And obviously, if you're on Spotify or Apple or iTunes or whatever you listen to your podcast, please do follow us on there and give us a rating, because again, it does massively help us out. The champions are back on Friday, and we'll be back next week. So until then, up the fucking Reds.
Up the champion Reds. Get in.